learned that it's a wet race, then that all goes out the window.
And one more caveat to that with the black and the reds is you have to run a set of black and reds, like you said, but you have to do 2 green laps. So you can't just come in and satisfy it under yellow. It has to be completed with 2 green laps. That is going to change.
Jack Arute is our man on pit lane with an update. Jack?
Yeah, guys, let me show you. We are, in fact, the only location that has pit lane radar. And this radar here, we've been working with it, but you can see right down in this area here, there is a big red thunder cell. And that's the issue that we're dealing with. It is moved through, and in fact, the cloud cover looks much better. And I think that's the issue that everybody's dealing with in race control. It's basically going to be a dry race. We just had to avoid this, which we just now have. And in fact, the precipitation is subsided. It's almost, in fact, ended.
Well, that is very good news. Let's hope we can get it dry. But it does indeed throw another question mark into this whole scenario here.
Well, the whole idea that these guys have been out, it's been dry all day, and put grip and rubber on the pavement. Now you just put a little bit of sprinkle on that. That changes that surface to be an unknown when they take the green flag.
7 drivers in today's field are from Brazil. Rafa Matos, Helio Castroneves, Kanan Mira, Beatrice Moraes, and Mario Romancini, a newcomer to the IZOD IndyCar Series, moving over from the Firestone Indy Lights. So 7 Brazilians, and the rest of the field hoping to outdo all of those hometown drivers.
Wasn't that great to see sunshine on that? And just at the end of Jack's report, and talked about how it had stopped raining, and then see the sunshine on that Zambadrome straightaway. I mean, that I just would love to see the start dry. If it happens to something in the course of the race to have some showers, fine, but it's pretty hairy to try and start one of these races just with sprinkles.
And especially for all the effort, everybody going down to Brills, doing lap time, getting set up for it. You want to see a dry start, absolutely.
The fans are here regardless of what kind of weather we have, and they are excited about this season opener for the 2010 IZOD IndyCar Series. Dario Franchitti will be on the pole for his 12th time in the IZOD IndyCar Series. And of course, as I said, he is the defending series champion. We're waiting for the pace car to complete its lap, and depending upon what they say when it comes back to the front stretch, we may or may not get the command to start engines.
And it was no doubt a good scene to see everybody taking the ponchos off when we entered the grandstands there. And sure enough, there is the pace car rolling to position.
Okay, well, we look good, so let's get this show on the road. Down for the command.
Pilotos, liguem seus motores.
Of course, the command given in Portuguese, but he did say, driver, start your engines. So.
Bilingual.
Yes.
But the drivers, I mean, I know Robbie and I, it's because we've been in this position that you know there's sprinkles, you don't know what's going to happen. When you're the driver in the seat and you don't know whether it's wet or dry, to know you're going to at least get the green on a mostly dry circuit, you're like, whew.
And in the 2 pace laps here, they'll do a good job of really looking at the circuit and getting it dry.
Take a little bit closer look at this race course.
We talked about it being the largest city in South America, and right in the middle, here is the track layout. 2.6 miles, over 2 miles of it have been repaved. Right off the start, you're going to see a rhythm section down to first gear, that 1, 2, 3, 4, a nice long straightaway into another tight combination of corners, especially here. 7, 8, 9, then let her rip. 0.9 of a mile, the longest straightaway ever on an IndyCar circuit. And Robbie, really coming into turn 11 and turn 5, that's going to be hair-raising.
And we have heard from these drivers, they love this circuit because of these long straightaways that create good passing zones. The one thing about it, it's very bumpy, and you can see the cars move around. And anytime you get offline, you find new bumps that can really make it exciting. And also when you get outline, you don't have as much grip, and it can create all kinds of instances. With this, we saw a little bit earlier in the day. But the key big passing and braking zone is after that almost a mile-long straightaway, Jan, that you talked about.
Top trap speed in that area?
180 miles an hour. And, Robbie, this is where you get it done.
And that is a great braking area just to pass somebody, and then you get into the concrete section where we got a ton of grip now.
And we are live now. The cars warm up their tires, get a feel for the racetrack as we get set for the green flag. Well, the first Peak Pole Award for 2010 goes to Dario Franchitti. He had the most poles last year. In fact, it wasn't just on street or road courses. He had poles also on ovals. Ryan Briscoe had 4 last year. Ray Hall, Castro Neves, and others had 2. Here they are going down that long straightaway. And we take a look at the lineup. Tagliani and Franchitti on the front row. Second row, Justin Wilson and Ryan Hunter-Reay, a couple of drivers who have switched teams for this year. Back in row number 3, it's Will Power. The third car in the Penske stable full season, Tony Kanaan, starts in the 6th position. In row 4, Ryan Briscoe, along with Scott Dixon, 2 of the 3 drivers who battled for the championship in Homestead Miami Speedway last fall. Castro Neves and Sato in the 5th row. Back in row number 6, it's Simona Di Silvestro. She's had a great weekend. And Rafa Matos, one of the Brazilian drivers. 7th row, there's Danica Patrick and Hideki Muto, who moves to Newman Haas Lanigan Racing. In the 8th row, Alex Lloyd, driving for Dale Coyne in the Boy Scouts of America car, and Vitor Mira for A.J. Foyt. The 9th row, E.J. Vizo for Dan Weldon will start outside of that row. Conway and Romancini in the 10th row, and back in row number 11, it's Andretti and Anna Beatrice. Back in the 12th row, the final row, Mario Moraes and Milka Duno. So let's find out what the strategy is going to be as we once again go down to Jackaroo.
Like any road course, guys, it's all about track position. There's going to be 3 pit stops during the course of this event, but when to pit is going to be the key to determine whether you win or lose. There are 3 times that you pit. There are 3 kinds of pit stops: when you want to, when you have to, and when you should. The magic number is when should you pit. I think because there have been so many full course yellows and the way this racetrack is laid out, you're not going to need to pit under green. What you're going to want to do is you want to put yourself in a position where you are the first to pit in the final pit stop, so you can utilize that track position. I'll give you one sneak guy that you ought to take a look at and watch all day. A brand new team, Alex Tagliani. Rob Edwards is calling the shots for that team, and he is loaded for bear. Guys, wouldn't surprise me if he found his way to IZOD victory lane.
Yeah, what a great debut for that team, and Alex Tagliani, a great start.
And the cars now begin to line up side by side. We have 6 onboard cameras that will complement our coverage here this afternoon. There's Dan Weldon in the National Guard car, starting in the 9th row.
No moisture, isn't that great to see?
Yeah. Here's Elio Castro Neves. He'll be starting in the 5th row, 9th position. Tony Kanaan will carry an onboard camera. He starts from row number 3.
And we're getting a really good shot at that long back straightaway here as you go to turn 11. It goes on and on.
Here's Ryan Hunter-Reay for Andretti Autosport, starting in the 2nd row. And a strong field of cars. We wish the drivers bonne sortie good luck as the Apex green flag waves and the IZOD IndyCar Series begins the 2010 campaign. Down into the first chicane, Dario Franchitti will have the advantage as they go there, in a mess here in the back.
Dixon gets spun around.
Oh, one in the air.
Wow.
That's Mario Moraes in the air.
And he's over Marco Andretti.
Wow.
Well, we knew they were funneling down into a first gear left-right complex, but boy, did it shake it up.
Briscoe's wing just flew off.
Yeah, we're seeing more debris scattered throughout the racetrack.
And look at everybody trying to dodge all the little carbon bits that come off that wing.
Well, not a very good start for the series.